thank you very much for joining us on the NTA. You're watching the Medley Show with Cecil. On today's episode of the program, we will basically be celebrating heroes, female heroes, heroines, women who have excelled in their different fields, in their different endeavors. We'll go from way back in time, to the times of the Fumilaro and Sam Kuti, Margaret Ekpo. We'll come on to business. We'll talk about women who are doing well in technology, in medicine, and in other areas. And of course, very importantly, sports. Of course, when we talk about heroes doesn't necessarily need to be those people who have been there for 20 years and excelling back to back. I mean, you could do one or two acts of one or two heroic acts, like how we all celebrated Toby Amuson when she first won at the athletics championship, and of course the many ladies who won at the Commonwealth competition. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I can't remember. Yeah, at the Commonwealth, the recent one. Yeah, so we celebrate them all. So I would like you also to tell us, who is the woman you'd like to celebrate? Who is the woman maybe in your area, in your life, in your tribe, or someone who is notable to you that you think should be celebrated on the program? Do send us, tell us the name of who you'd like to celebrate. It could be your mother. Yes, I know many people want to celebrate their mothers. Yes, it could be someone else, a woman who has been a hero to you, and you send us a line or two and why you think, why you're calling that person your hero. Just before we get to, and you do that on our phone line, which is a text and a WhatsApp only line, and it's 081 177 82020. That's our phone line. Once again, 081 177 82020. The number is showing on your screen right now. Tell us the woman you would like to celebrate on the program today. Today's about the woman. It's about the women. Yeah. All right. Before we go on to take our background feature, which will set the tone for our discourse today, I'd like us to meet my guest very quickly, and then I'll start with the veteran broadcaster. She's produced a number of documentaries, features celebrating women during her time in the broadcasting, and of course after. She's very deep. She'll tell us so much that she knows. Back in the time, I don't know how much she knows now, especially like in music and the other. We'll get to know as we continue. Help me in welcoming Deborah Ogazuma. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
I just said I don't know if you know any music now, but I hope as we continue, I'll hear you say something. I mean, tell us one or two.
I hope so.
Okay. All right. We also have on set with us, and this time it's good to know that there are men folk who actually celebrate women who are not, I don't want to say male chauvinists. Anyhow, he is not. He's celebrating women, and you get to know about it as we continue. Help me in welcoming a blogger also. He is the executive director of EEEI, Engage, Empower, Educate Initiative, Belema Meshakat.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Okay, I'm glad that there are men like you who celebrate women. I mean, I see a lot you do, all those, you gather women together. You know, tell us a little about it as we get to talk.
Yeah, they call us a he for she.
A he for she, nice. I hope we have she's for he. No, there are enough. He's have enough, so they don't need any shit too.
You think so?
Yes, no. I mean, it's everything is a man's world. Yes, it's a man's world. I'm the man. I'm the big guy. Anyhow, it's time for us to move on. And moving on first, let's set the tone. It's our background feature, which takes a look at some heroic women of the past, pioneer heroines. All right, let's take a look at it, and then I'll be right back, and let's talk.
In times past, the traditional role of women was restricted to the home, get married, bear children, and raise the family. But some women fought to achieve the success that many women are enjoying today. Here are a few of these women. The likes of Buche Mecheta in 1944, the author of Second Class Citizens, The Joys of Motherhood, and other prose, suffered oppression at the hands of her husband, Sylvester Owodi, and in 1960, the prose, The Bride Price, which was published in 1979, from northern Nigeria, Cambo Sawaba began her political career in 1958 at the age of 17. Sawaba advocated against early child marriage, education for girls, and the right for women to vote and to be voted for in the North. In 1952, Sawaba was sentenced to prison for practicing pruda, a form of social seclusion for women. It is said that Sawaba was sentenced to prison 16 times. The likes of Queen Amina of Zauzau in Kaduna State, northern Nigeria, who ruled the Zauzau Empire for 34 years from 1576 to 1610, led an army of 20,000 men to war and expand the kingdom to nearby Nupe land, rule Kano and Katsina, and boost the kingdom's wealth and power with gold, slaves, and crops. Known for her courageous act, Queen Moremi succeeded in saving the people of Ile-Ife in southwestern Osun State during the 12th century by allowing herself to be captured by the Igbo raiders just to reveal the secrets of the enemies who were trying to invade the town of Ife. A sacrifice brave men fear of being killed and taken away by the forest raiders. The legendary Inikpi of the Igala Kingdom in Kogi State selflessly sacrificed her life at the bank of River Niger in Ida to save the Igala people from the Benin warriors in the 15th and 16th century. Known as a civil rights activist, Margaret Ekpo fought against the discrimination and oppression of women in Nigeria. In 1961, she won as an elected legislator in the Eastern House of Assembly in Enugu State, becoming the first Aba woman to win the electoral seat. Ekpo won the electoral seat twice until January 13, 1966, when she was overthrown during a military coup. Founder of the Abeokuta Women's Union in 1944, Fumilayo Ransom Kuti also advocated for the political participation of women during and after the colonial era in Egbaland, Ogun State. She is the first woman to drive a car and motorcycle in Nigeria. For some people, these women are feminists, boss ladies, human rights activists, or even dictators. But whatever you call them, their names have been sealed in the history of the country, and they will be celebrated on the Medley Show today.
All right, thank you very much, Capsi Joshua. That's pretty detailed background feature, taking a look at women of the past. But very quickly, let's set the tone. Women back in the years, I don't know if I would say back in your time. I know the role of the women, mostly the girls don't go to school as we have it today. Of course, I think it's, maybe you might not agree. Maybe the much they may go, it's primary school, I think. But the primary, they'll tell you that the business of the women, just get married, you have to raise family, you have to be submissive and everything. Of course, I'm not saying you should not be submissive now. I mean, give us a clearer picture of the girl child, the women back in the years, maybe pre-colonial on that period.
Pre-colonial?
Or maybe, the early time, maybe in the last 40 years.
Well, I know that women had to struggle for girls to be educated, and in the early education, era, the women, girls was sort of like, you're not that important, you're going to get married, and you will leave. It is the man who is supposed to take on and sort of take on the name of the family.
Oh, that's true, because they don't carry the name. So.
You take on the name of the family, you are the breadwinner, you are what, in spite of the fact that evidence showed that women were also breadwinning, even in those days, So schools, it depended on how liberal the father, I think usually was. If you had a father who felt, my daughter, I love my daughter, I would like my daughter, you were lucky, you went to school, But mostly it would be like primary school, People had to struggle, even outside of Nigeria. People had to struggle to say that, no, we want our children also to be in secondary school, And people will say, no, if you send them to secondary school, they will not get married. People don't want to marry overeducated, whatever it is, And as one lady in Uganda said to me when I was shooting something on women's participation, she said, we told them that's what you told us. They wanted now to go into the university. You told us that if we married, if we went to secondary school, we would not, have husbands. But we have husbands. Now we're doing well. People are not complaining. So let's move it up a bit and also go to it. So you will find that it was actually the women, who were privileged, who were also working to ensure that more women came into, these women that we mentioned earlier on, the women I refer to as the founding mothers.
The founding mothers, that's the women we saw in that.
The women we saw, the Fumilayo Ransom Kutis, the Cambo Sawaba, the Margaret Ekbu, Ladi Shehu, and all of those people were people who fought for the enfranchisement of women. And not just for women, they also fought for the enfranchisement of the downtrodden. That's why people say when you give a woman the chance, everybody benefits. This is it, because she's thinking, how can things be better for the society?
Okay. So, Belema, you want to quickly add to that? Of course, I know you were not born at that time.
I was not born at that time. But the narrative is actually true,
Mm-hmm.
and it's what we've experienced over time. Most times, that's why you see some of us that do what we do have a passion for women and our mothers and what they had to go through to ensure they send themselves to school. Are you getting me through the time, and how we have this belief that if you empower a woman, you are actually empowering the whole community, because the women have a way of, like you have said in roundup, have a way of taking care of the larger community. They don't just think only of themselves like some people will say the men would do, right? So that's why we do what we do for women. So the narrative is quite correct, but this time things have changed.
Yeah, things have changed. Things have changed, but also don't forget the fact that we still have places where women have to be married off to take, so they can take care of the family and everything. They are still seen as the ones who.
Yeah, but even in those places, you would agree, would be like, for instance, let's look at I think it's Saudi Arabia that finally allowed even women to come into the stadium to watch matches. It was not allowed before. Now women can drive and apply for driver's licenses. Are you getting me? So in countries where we had this thick and very tough opposition to women, we've seen that as we grow, things are beginning to change because people are beginning to see things differently. So I think we've gotten a lot better from where we were coming from back in the 80s and the 70s and the 60s. And trust me, the next 5 years, you might be shocked that if you begin to check the statistics, you might see that equally girls and guys are equally getting access to education.
Let me quickly talk about. We've seen that documentary. We've just taken a look at. We mentioned a couple of women. Which one of them struck you? Because I really was wondering, at what point did Belema decide to say, "Okay, I'm going to be a he for she. I'm going to do this"? I mean, tell us your story very briefly.
Okay, like I said, most of this thing stems from my mom, right? And
Okay.
the passion I have and the love I have towards her, and the fact that even while blogging, I found that there was an issue. While blogging, most people that report to my page and report to me about issues they have were women. Are you getting me? And I looked at it, okay, and my mom and from where I'm coming from, and the passion was just there to say, okay, women actually have a greater need. The man can sort out himself, right? The man can go out and sort out himself. Not that the woman cannot sort out herself, but the needs around women and the girl child are a lot. Like we have correctly pointed out, I mean, statistics, girl child education, you can't compare with the boys. So we said, okay, this place has a great need. There's a great need here. And secondly, minus the need, I also believe sincerely that if women are given an opportunity to lead, they will do a better job, sincerely.
Give us instances of what you were. Okay, you must want to mention.
Based on where I was coming from growing up and the institutions I attended, I saw where they had given women specific roles to handle administratively, and the women did a fantastic job. See, even running my own organization, I have 90% women and very few men. I have 90% women and very few men. And trust me, if you get the right woman into office, she would do everything to ensure your organization succeeds. I was just doing a research and I noticed that even at Facebook, there is a woman that is responsible. She just resigned of recent, but she was with Facebook from the beginning, and she was at the background. Nobody knew about her. But this is the woman that came in as a staff, remained as a staff, but is a billionaire today because Facebook had to gradually give her shares of the company because of the impact she made in the organization. So we believe at the Engage and Power Educate initiative that if you groom the woman and you give her an opportunity to lead, she'll do a better job. So that's why we give them opportunities in education. And in fact, I'm coming from the office now. We're interviewing ladies for roles in tech. We are training 15 ladies for free in tech skills, not social media skills. Now, this core tech, core app, core development skills. We had about 160 people apply. We trimmed it down to 60, and now between today and Friday, we are interviewing the 60 to get just 15. That for the next 1 year, we'll be training for free in tech skills. Get the laptop, get the train. For this, sign the contract with the trainers to train them. We believe that if that space, that niche, is also a niche women can do very well with, and any woman that is empowered in that space, trust me, will empower her community. Because tech skills are in demand skills right now, today, and they pay in foreign currencies. So you can imagine a lady that has a tech skill that we give her for free can be earning $4,000, $5,000, even $10,000 a month. I just imagine what to do for her community, for her family, how it can change their lives forever. So we just believe in empowering the woman and the girl child. So we look for various avenues and various opportunities to empower them in that light.
Okay, wow! I see you listening so attentively to him. You seem to be admiring and be appreciative of what he's talking about. So, in the course of your producing your travels, producing content as regards women, can you share with us one story, too, maybe that really struck you? Maybe a girl child, a woman who struggled despite all odds to be a hero, even if it's just to her family. Quite a lot.
Yes.
You have to know.
Yes, quite a lot, actually. But I talked with a spectrum of females, let me put it that way. Older women who had been in the struggle, young women and girls who are now up and, coming in about 7 African countries.
Okay.
And because I was trying to do a comparative study, because we like to say, Nigeria is the. So I wanted to find out whether really we are the
giant of Africa.
Yes, when it comes, to issues of women development or the advancement, of women. There were lots of women who, for instance, there was a lady who told me in Kenya about this woman, one Wanjiru in Kenya, who had fought with the Mau Mau. With the Mau Mau, the whatever, and she was one of the freedom fighters, and she was a brave woman, was out there doing whatever, and she said what struck her was that there wasn't even a little lane or street named after her. Nobody remembered her, in spite of the fact that this was a woman who challenged the men to come out and say, look, I'm out here, excuse me, fighting. You be men. If you cannot be, then take my clothes and I'll take on your trousers and whatever it is,
wow.
and do this fight, But you find that women, there are lots of these women all over the place. They've not been recognized, That's one story. Then you have people, young girls, who feel that they are in the middle of something and they want to be part of development, and they want to make an imprint in what is going on, And I talk to young artists in Nigeria, in Uganda, in Kenya, who are able to sort of to express themselves and say, we want to be part of what is going on. And I think when we look at it, it's not so much that women may be better than men, but that each has skills, Women come into management with their type of skills, which is really needed.
Okay.
You know, that sort of thing, and which may be missing. And when you have that together, you know, you have a complete.
It complements.
Yes, it more than complements.
Yeah.
As somebody said to me, it's not a question of people marrying or whatever it is and becoming complementing one another, but that they become complete. What is missing in one
It's in the other.
is in the other
Is in
one.
the other. Okay.
You know.
All right. I see. Okay, now let me just quickly say this. Last week on the program, we discussed mental health. We had a psychiatrist here who tried to answer many questions on depression and some other mental health issues. My dear viewers, my very beautiful viewers, they are still asking questions on mental health. I'm sorry, today we're not talking mental health. We're celebrating heroes. Heroes, that women who have done great things, women who have excelled despite all odds. So who is your heroine that you'd like to celebrate on the program today? That's our focus. I'll send all your mental health questions to Dr. Dayaba, and she'll answer them and get back to you. But meanwhile, let's take a look at another feature. We will be taking a look now at some women who have excelled in businesses. Many of the names you know, some you may not. All right, let's have a look.
Business is one area where women have excelled, as we see more and more women coming into the limelight as successful entrepreneurs, competing with their male counterparts, not just locally, but also internationally. We start off with Folorunsho Alakija, one of Africa's richest individuals and number one billionaire woman in Nigeria and number two in Africa. According to Forbes, she has a net worth of over $1 billion. She started off her journey into the employment market as a secretary and grew within the ranks, leaving to establish a tailoring company, Supreme Stitches. With the success of that, Folorunsho Alakija diversified into the oil and gas sector, which made her a billionaire. In 2015, she was listed as the second most powerful woman in Africa after Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and the 87th most powerful woman in the world by Forbes. Next is the CEO and founder of Bolmos Group International, Hajia Bola Shagaya, with an estimated net worth of $950 million. She is a Nigerian commercialist who earned fortunes by venturing into several businesses, including oil and gas, real estate, banking, and communications. Like Alakija, Hajia Bola Shagaya started off in the corporate world, but with her eyes set on greater things. Fifi Jindu is not just an architect, but also an urban planner. She is an entrepreneur, philanthropist, and also one of the wealthiest women in Nigeria. She is the founder and CEO of Starcast Group of Companies, a company which she started from scratch in 1995. This was after she obtained her bachelor's and master's from Pratt Institute, New York, USA. She is a serial entrepreneur with hands in oil, gas, and building constructions. Another success is Stella O'Cooley, the CEO of Emzo Pharmaceuticals Nigeria Limited. In January 1977, Stella O'Cooley started Emzo Pharmaceutical with the initial name Emzo Chemist Limited as a small pharmacy retail shop in Lagos. Emzo Pharmaceutical has since become one of the leading pharmaceutical companies in Nigeria, with over 50 products since its incorporation in 1984. She is currently a member of the Economic Summit of Nigeria and also on the Health Matters Advisory Board of Nigeria. She is a philanthropist and one of the few Nigerians who has been acknowledged globally for her efforts to provide adequate health care in the country. Influenced by charismatic women from childhood, beauty entrepreneur Tara Fela Durotoye is one woman of influence in Nigeria. While in training to be a lawyer at the Lagos State University at the age of 20, she went on against all odds at a time when the importation of makeup and bridal products was the norm, to break grounds and found the House of Tara in 1998 and launched the first bridal directory in 1999. She later trained in makeup artistry in the US before returning home to expand into an empire. Tara made the Forbes list of 20 young power women in Africa in 2013 and was nominated as a young global leader by the World Economic Forum. Ibukun Awoshika is widely known as the chairman of the First Bank of Nigeria, a remarkable feat for a woman in the corporate world, even by 21st century standards. She has been quoted as saying, "I come from a place where there are opportunities staring you in the eye, but it's looking for the people who have the heart and courage to do it and do it right." With her eyes set on so many goals, she attempted degrees in chemistry and law before settling for accounting. With stints in different fields, she settled for furniture manufacturing, founding Quibis Limited, which has today transformed into the Chair Center Group, an umbrella of companies with competitive global presence. These are just a few of the success stories of women entrepreneurs, showing that women also excelled in whatever area they find themselves.
All right, thank you very much, Sam Ben. And when you look at that, the story is that it's not about how much wealth they have gathered now. It's how they have built from scratch, how they started from small. You know, back in the days, we patronize things. It has to come from abroad, or it's not like we're totally out of it now. Yes, you have to come from the abroad, like we would say. But you see this woman, like the Emzo, Stella O'cooley, right? She actually started it from here, and now it's a pretty big brand that we all know it. Many of the women will say, yes.
Anybody that buys paracetamol, if you've taken paracetamol, most likely it's Emzo paracetamol.
So, like, there are many more of them like that. I mean, they started from here, and they built it despite everything.
There's this lady also for the rough and tumble lady.
Yes,
for the baby clothes and stuff. They started quite small, but the brand has grown very big and very wide. And she has made a huge success of kids clothes. You know, normally you want to get kids clothes, you have to import from abroad.
Yes.
You rarely get made, even till now. I think she's the only major competitor to imported clothes for kids.
Oh,
I can't really think of any brand that is local that is competing in that
rough
market.
And tumble.
Yeah,
yes,
so rough and
very
tumble.
stylish.
Yeah, and they're
clothes,
very stylish, very very centric for children, understanding our unique culture here, and they're beautiful clothes that they are making. So that's somebody else that has built a business from the scratch and has made a lot of impact in our field. Also, the lady from First Bank, I think this is one woman that has consistently been an inspiration and also part of the group. And I like the fact that she is part of the group that also inspires other young women, because at this point, you know, we had our last African Women's Summit in Kigali, Rwanda, and one of the things we discussed was this intergenerational conversation, because the truth is that we are losing the older ones and the younger ones don't have anyone to look up to. So if there is no intergenerational discussion to see, okay, let's hand over the baton. If you watch the relays, the baton is handed over to the next generation, but we are losing it because the older ones are going. Even in fact, at Kigali, at the ambassador's place, she introduced me to this Better Life for Rural Women, run by Babangida, but it's now being managed by her sister. I think her younger elder sister, I can't remember, Mrs. Amina. And she told me about what happened during that time. We've lost it. We've lost those information. She started speaking about the things that are actually quite old. And if she goes with all the information she has with her. So I believe that these women have done a lot in their time, but we should begin to have this intergenerational discussion, like what Awoshika and her team is doing, where they're getting young women and they're empowering them. But I think there has to be a discussion. Okay, we're about leaving the scene, but we need more people to come up to where we have been. So there have to be a mentorship kind of system and a conversation between the old and the young. If not, you'll be shocked that the next set of women that are going to come up might not be as successful as these ones that we have today.
Very true, very true, very true.
Mrs. Awoshika, she was one of the women I spoke with on that program, Will the Eagle Soar. The title was actually to find out whether the way we are going, you know, with this gender thing in Nigeria, whether we will, as a country, actually make it. You know, whether we will soar, you know, if we're only using one half of, you know, our resources. You know, and she actually was an example of women who have made it because there was somebody who believed in them, from what she told me, she went into, as an industrialist, she became an industrialist, and she went into this business of furniture making, as they were saying, very unique, stylish kind of furnishing, high, very superior quality, whatever it is, and because her father believed in her. Mostly when you find women who are doing well, who have advanced, who are excelling, who are doing well in management, it is actually, there's a father somewhere there that believed in them.
True.
To
buttress even your point.
And encourage them.
Okay.
Yes, a lot of men are encouraged by what their mothers have done. They've seen their mothers struggling, making palm oil, doing all kinds of things, to ensure that they go to school. Most times you find that they were the ones actually earning, the money that sent these children to school.
They sell their wrappers.
Yes, and whatever. So there's that support. You call same thing as mentoring or mentorship. There's it is important that there's somebody there who is supporting you, and that you pass on the skills. As she said, she was, at the time she spoke to me, she was excuse me, coordinating WinBiz, women in business.
That's what I was talking about.
Women in business, and they had come to a point where they said, look, we would like to see more women in decision-making positions, and we're going to look at them and support those that are actually, those who have it, so that you don't have a situation in which women in politics, women who want to go into governance, and when they tell you that, well, we have a problem with funding or whatever it is, because you need somebody to give you that push. And the WinBiz was working towards doing that.
Look, I like WinBiz. I don't know, but when we hear WinBiz, look, WinBiz is like up there. But I want to talk about, let's talk about catching them young catching them young, encouraging them in business and sports, in whatever it is. Like if you listen to the story of Toby had granted an interview where she said her father didn't want her to go into sports, so her mother tells the father that she's going to church or choir practice, fellowship. Then she sneaks to go play, to go train. So when the father found out about it, he burnt all her sporting wares. Like, no, you just have to focus on your education. And now today, he's one of those who say, yeah, that's my daughter. Come on, that's my daughter. I trained her. That's my daughter. You were going to say something, but let me take this quickly. Okay. When please do send your message. We are celebrating women on the program today, celebrating female, celebrating heroines on the program today. So tell us, who is your hero? Who is the person you would like to celebrate? This person said, my name is Kausa. I want to celebrate my aunt, who is the person of Kemi Dada Boss. Okay. Please do send in more of your messages. Someone is trying to call and it's distracting me. Take that quickly and then we'll take something else.
Okay, I just wanted to buttress a point. Where I was at the Commonwealth Head of Government meeting in Kigali that just happened, I think 2 months ago. And the Secretary General, a woman, I think she's from Southern America or somewhere. She kept saying at the Women's Forum that her dad was the person that pushed her to where she is today. I think she was the only girl among 6 or 7 boys, but the dad took a special interest in her and pushed her to achieve what she has achieved, up to the extent that now she is the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, and she has been reappointed again for another, I think, 4 years or so. So I wanted to buttress the point that there's always a man somewhere pushing the woman ahead, and it has to be a collaborative effort. I don't like the narrative where it looks like the women are fighting the men or the men are fighting the women. To me, I think it's not necessary. Like you have said, it's a completeness. What one doesn't have, the other has, and there has to be this collaboration between both to ensure that there's a completeness. Okay,
let's take 1 or 2 messages and then we'll go on to take women in sports, and our phone line is 081 1778 2020. Tell us, who is the heroine in your life, or that you'd like to celebrate. I want to celebrate Azizat Okay, that's Aziza. That's the
Footballer,
footballer. Yes.
Barcelona and Nigeria.
Okay, another message is coming. Another call is coming. All right, she's playing Barcelona. She's a Barcelona player, right? So please do write your name so I'll know who is writing. My mom is my heroine. She is kind to everyone and I love her. Favor Amadi from Port Harcourt. I want to celebrate Professor Mrs. Ifode. She's wonderful. Thank you very much. What's your name? I'd like to celebrate my precious wife, the mother of our children, Owecho Yunus. And this is Owecho Yunus. And this is from Pastor JJ Owecho. Good day, ma'am. My name is Alex from Ikorodu, Lagos. I just want to celebrate my hero, my mom. Today is her birthday. Help me celebrate her. Happy birthday to your mom. Okay, I want to celebrate the best mom in the world, Mrs. Aina Joy. I can't see the rest of it. I'd like to celebrate my mother, Mrs. Monica Agagbe. All right, let me take one more then. I like to celebrate my late mom and late grandmom. Indeed, they taught me how to stand strong no matter the challenges, and my mom taught me not to depend on a man alone. Amarachi from Lagos. I see many more of your messages. I will take them, but that'll be right after we celebrate some women in sports, past and present.
Since Nigerian women broke the norm and ventured into sports, they have broken and set world records, brought home medals and trophies, and made the country proud. Here are just a few of the women who have proved to be heroines on the field. Ajunwa may not be the most decorated Nigerian female athlete of all time, but her feat at the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, where she leaped to a historic gold medal in the long jump pit, has made her a candidate for the greatest Nigerian female athlete of all time award. Blessing Okagbari is a household name when it comes to world athletics in Nigeria. She is an Olympic and World Championship medalist in the long jump and a world medalist in the 200 meters. She holds the women's 100-meter Commonwealth Games record for the fastest time at 10.85 seconds. She set a personal record of 10.79 seconds in the 100-meter races at London Anniversary Games in 2013. Okagbari remains the only Nigerian sprinter to dock inside 10.80 seconds. Falilat Ogunkoya was a former track and field athlete who in 1996 became the first Nigerian to win a medal in an individual track and field event at the 1996 Summer Olympics, where she won a bronze medal in the 400 meters. She ran it in 49.10 seconds to break an African record. Ese Brume is not a newcomer when it comes to putting Nigeria on the medals table in major competitions. The long jumper's consistency is commendable as she continues to fly the colors of Nigeria in major tournaments. Ese is a 3-time African senior champion in the long jump. She is also a 5-time African junior champion in athletics. Among her many wins is a record-breaking leap of 7.00 meters to make a new Games record in Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, 2022. She became the first woman to jump that far in the history of the Commonwealth Games. Adijat Onlarioye clinched Nigeria's first gold medal in the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England, after lifting a total of 203 kg in the women's 55 kg weightlifting event. Among her previous wins is a gold medal in the 2021 International Weightlifting Federation World Championship in Uzbekistan. Chioma Onyekwere made history at the 2022 Commonwealth Games. This feat made her the first Nigerian woman and the second African to win gold in the discus at the Commonwealth Games. Paralympian Goodness Nwachukwu left fans and spectators screaming, "Oh my goodness," as she made and broke 2 world records in quick succession to claim the top prize for Nigeria in the women's discus category. Lucy Ejike trained to become a Paralympic powerlifter. She has represented Nigeria at 6 consecutive Paralympic Games from Sydney 2022 through to Tokyo 2021. She won medals at each of these games, 3 gold, 2 silver and 1 bronze. Nigeria's current golden girl and the latest sensation in female sport, Tobi Amosun, has left the world in awe. She has been making the headlines ever since her record-breaking feat at the World Athletics Championship in Eugene. She won gold at the World Athletics Championship by running an astonishing 12.12 seconds in the semi-final and 12.06 seconds in the finals of the 100-meter hurdles. Tobi defended her title by claiming gold at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham and also setting a new Games record of 12.30 seconds. She has now become Nigeria's first ever world champion in athletics. With our sportswomen breaking world records and earning gold titles, it is surely a great time to be a Nigerian woman.
Year or two when the national Nigerian anthem was playing at the athletics championship. I mean, it was really. I mean, Tobi was practically flying. Like, Mom, did you watch it, Mom?
Yes, I did. It was so exciting. It was so she was leaping out there like a gazelle. She was wonderful.
She was just wonderful.
Yeah, Tobi is I think I heard today or yesterday that the president will be receiving them back in the country from the Commonwealth Games. So she's like the toast of everyone now.
She is.
But you see, I like to point out something very different. When they were going through the struggle. When they were going through the trying times. I've watched sports news severally, and people have said they went to brands and organizations to sponsor these athletes before the World Championships, before the Commonwealth Games, and they turned them down blatantly. But now some of these brands are calling back now. But you see, these girls, when they were there in the trying times, putting in the work, no one saw them, but everybody wants to celebrate with the winner, and a failure has no friends. But you see, we should also acknowledge and applaud these girls for not giving up. Because trust me, there would have been times and there would have been periods where they would have said, okay, let's just give this enough. We're not getting any support from the government. We're not getting any support from the private sector. But irrespective of everything, they still went ahead and made us proud in Commonwealth. 12 gold medals from the ladies. The ladies alone.
The ladies have won more gold. I don't know why somehow in Nigeria we focus so much on football. If it's football is supposed to be our oil and everything in sport. But they are that. Look at the Paralympian. That young lady, Lucy Ejike. She's the weightlifter, right? On wheelchair. Like I marvel when I get to see many of these people. And let's not forget those who actually lay the foundation for them in sport. The Choma Ajo, what's the police officer?
She opened the gates.
I always
felt that she wasn't celebrated enough. As the first gold medal.
Even if it's a street.
But there are always people like that will open the gate and are not really celebrated. But their job is done. They were sent to do a job, and I like the fact that it's helping her also in the progression of her career and the things she's doing after that period. And I'm sure she now, seeing this new set of people come up, will give her great joy, knowing that she will not just leave without them seeing new people on the block. And we have people even younger than Tobi coming. If you watch the World Junior Championships, right, there are people that are coming, I'm telling you, and these people are not joking at all. So I think if Nigeria wants to take it seriously, to invest more in sports, especially in athletics, like she said, not just football, and in athletics, I'm sure an Olympics is coming in 2024. So we have at least 1 year to prepare, to invest in these people now, to give them proper training, proper exposure, because most of the people that won gold, if you look at their trajectory, they went for international events, they had the exposure, so they were not really intimidated by the crowd at Birmingham, so they were used to it and they were prepared for it.
And somehow when I get to see how these ladies get to succeed so much in what they do, it just reminds me of what one of my colleagues here just came in here and just mentioned something. He said his professor in the university, Professor Agba, says men work harder and women work longer. Like, they have to write that in an exam. And I thought about it. Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense. Cohol's professor in school, because no, you need to work extra just to prove a point that we really can do this. I don't know, but let's take a couple of messages. There are so many here, and I would like us to take as many as possible. My name is Prosper Olori. Please help me celebrate late Mrs. Dora O'Cooley, who passed on in 2014. She was Director General of NAFDAC. Greetings to you all in the studio. Honestly, I'm celebrating Dr. O'Cooley even in death as my hero. She is. As a Muslim, I even named my daughter after her. Oh, this is Shola Gola from Adamawa State, and he says, thank you. I'm in Yobong, Ekanem. I want to celebrate my daughter, Bright, in Yobong, for being a very special child. She's so helpful and understanding. God bless her. Okay, my name is Edima Bassi. I love this topic. There should be a good bonding between the young and the old. I celebrate my mom and all virtuous women. Mrs. Tega Etadove, a woman of rigidness that success is for me too. Okay, his mom though. Alex is celebrating his mom. I didn't get the message completely. I am Abby Treasure. My mom is my heroine. She's very hardworking and loving. Okay, I love your program. Please help me to publicly celebrate my adorable, unique and stunning wife, Oja Favor Samuel. She is God sent in my life. All right, let's take this next feature on women in politics, governance, and development.
Politics and national development, as we see it, is a game majorly played by men and only a few women. Today, we shall look at the impact some of these women played in politics. A lot has been said about Cambo Sawaba, Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, Margaret Ekbo, and the Aba women who each fought against the oppression by either the colonialist or federal governments of their time against fellow women. Since 1999, women have gone on to be movers and shakers, living up to the saying that what a man can do, a woman can do better. And none more so than the late Dora O'Cooley, the former DG of NAFDAC. Under her, she ensured that a lot of fake drugs and illegal substances were destroyed and the owners sent to prison. During this period, Nigeria's faith was restored in locally produced drugs. Another is Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, two-time Minister of Finance in Nigeria. She assisted in the facilitation of debt forgiveness from the Paris Club and also ensured that our economy was the largest in Africa amongst many other achievements. She is now the president of the World Trade Organization. Senator Abiodun Olujimi is a member of parliament. She is the current Senate Minority Leader. She joins a list of noble women, which include Remi Tinubu, Binta Garba, and Stella Odua, to mention a few, who have represented their constituents with vigor by either sponsoring or supporting various bills on the floor of the Senate or House. Some of them have become laws. Kufurela Buckner was among the very few deputy governors in Nigeria in 1999, and they have remained few. Valerie Ibe of Akwa Ibom, Ipalibu Banigo, who is the current deputy governor of Rivers State, and Pauline Talon, former deputy governor of Plateau State and current minister of Women Affairs. Women have consistently shown that they have something extra in them whenever they have been given the opportunity to serve.
Okay, so these are some women. Of course, many of you who have been saying we have not celebrated late Professor O'Cooley. There she is, our very first woman was celebrating on that last feature. I will be taking your messages, but I would like us to very quickly celebrate women in entertainment. Tell me, who... Okay, anyhow, let's take a look at the feature, then I'll come back and ask you who are your favorite women in entertainment, and if you could sing a line or two. All right. Yes, what's that now? Why is all my girls doing like that? Like they did like, oh. All right, let's take a look at women in entertainment.
Over the years, women have proven to be a force to be reckoned with. From their impact in different walks of life down to our homes, one can say every woman has what makes her tick, what drives her to do things differently. Let's talk about some women with groundbreaking impact in the entertainment industry. Music video director, filmmaker and television director Kemi Adetimba is another woman in Nigerian showbiz who has conquered in a male-dominated sector. Her works have made headlines on MTV Base, Channel O and Netflix, among other platforms. She released a short film titled Across a Blooded Ocean in 2009 after graduating from New York Film Academy. Kemi has directed and won awards for music videos for top-rated artists like Wizkid, Tiwa Savage, Two-Face, Banky W, Omaomi, and Olamide. The New York Film Academy graduate produced her first feature-length film, The Wedding Party, in 2016, after which she went on to release another blockbuster, King of Boys, in 2018. Joke Silva is a Nollywood actress who has stood firm through the years. In 2021, when she marked 60, she announced that the day also marks her 40 years in the industry she loves. Her role in the British-Canadian film The Secret Laughter of Women was a big leap in her career. She has received a number of awards nominations in numerous categories. Her apt interpretation of roles earned her a prestigious honor of Order of the Federal Republic in 2014. Silva is married to veteran actor Olu Jacobs. The two are referred to as Nollywood power couple. Together with her husband, she founded a performing arts academy, Le Photo Group, and was also the pioneer managing director of Malete Film Village. Wangi Mba Uzoku is a successful media strategist with a career span of over 16 years. Wangi is one of Africa's most talented broadcast executives and have been with South Africa Pay Television, Channel O, Mnet as regional manager since 2012. She was appointed as the first regional director in West Africa for Mnet in 2014. Her initiative brought about the birth of the fan-favored reality show Big Brother Naija, as well as the African Magic Viewers' Choice Award. She also manages African Magic World and local channels. Onyeka Owenu is not called the elegant talent for nothing. With her voice and vocals, she spoke volume and pierced hearts. Onyeka is not just an artist who sang many entertaining songs, but lyrics with loaded messages. As an NTA staff in 1984, she produced a documentary titled A Squandering of Riches.
Alright, I'm sorry, that's the much we can take on that feature. Celebrating Onyeka Owenu, multi-talented. She's a singer, she's a broadcaster,
an actress.
An actor. So
she served in government also.
Yeah,
she was the
DG of
Women
Women
Center.
Development Center. Yes, so she's worth celebrating. And of course, I like Joke Silver. Yes, she's also been there for long. In as much as I'd like us to speak even longer, very quickly. Tell me, let me start with you. Tell me your favorite woman hero in entertainment.
Woman hero, or somebody I really like. What she does is Shola Sobowale.
Shola Sobowale. Why is it not
the actress. She's someone that really gives life to her role and what she's asked to interpret. So she's been there for a while. So it's somebody I really appreciate and I really look forward to even meeting one-on-one.
All right, Shola Sobowale Yamodina. Tell us your closing thoughts on the topic today, celebrating women.
I'll keep saying it. Let's give women the opportunity to lead and to be in positions of authority. And we are doing that every day with our NGO. We're sending them back to school. We're giving them an opportunity, and we have even something we're working towards the elections also for women. So we'll get there. All
right, thank you very much, Deborah. Tell me.
Same here. Women need to be given the enabling environment to perform, to excel, and I want to quickly celebrate a woman that we have not talked about. And civil women in the service would really appreciate the fact that this woman, who was the first permanent secretary, federal permanent secretary, Francesca Emmanuel, was the one who made it possible for women to have full maternity leave and with pay. what we are enjoying now, somebody actually struggled and fought for it because she was in a position to do something and she was able to do it.
An unsung hero. Yeah.
This is it.
Okay, so thank you. You want to give us
Yes, I wanted to say something else
please.
too about enabling environments. There was a professor I spoke with, Professor Ogunshewe. She was the first Secretary General of National Council of Women's Society. And she told me how the council started with this woman who was formed something called Women Improvement Society. And these women in those days, actually were working with women in Dugbe markets. And they set up a nursery in Dugbe so that the women, while they are working, the children, yes, and we are still finding it difficult to persuade, corporate bodies and government to say, have a crèche or something, so that women can give their best. Even when
at work.
Yes, that's right.
All right, I guess I'm sorry. This is the much we can take on the program today. And I'm sorry I've not been able to take on many of your messages. I see them coming. But a couple of you are still calling and not making me read your message. Please, let's also text our WhatsApp next time only. I'll just take one or two. My name is Joseph Oboyomi. My hero is my mother, strong like a man. Good afternoon, Cecil. I'm celebrating you, my mom, every time, every day. Thank you all so much for being there for me, my superheroine. All right, Capsi says her mom is a superheroine. And for me, Cecil Egbele, I celebrate my mom, I celebrate all great women and many unsung heroes like that Kara woman at that junction. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.